Decades of military experience inform Reserve Major Elliot Shodoff's analysis. Here's more from our conversation about how Operation Rising Lion is proceeding. Elliot Shodoff, you're a major in the IDF Reserves, a political and military analyst, and also host of the podcast Conflict Uncovered. Here we are about 6 days into Operation Rising Lion. Tell us your assessment of what Israel has been able to accomplish so far inside Iran.
Well, beyond all military expectations, first and foremost, and I think the most important opening step was taking out a major swath of the Iranian military leadership, which was done primarily in the first strikes, but in a few following, and at the same time eliminating and continuing to grind down, because it's not completely gone, the air defense systems of Iran that were already very heavily damaged in the two counterstrikes that we had after the two Iranian missile attacks over the past year. So the combination of no real coherent leadership left for the Iranian defense system and no surface-to-air capability basically has opened the skies of Iran far beyond anything the Israeli Air Force would have anticipated. If you had asked, I think, the planners a month ago, they would have seen us doing what we're doing, where we're doing it today.
How would you've been in the IDF more than 30 years, and you're a student of history. How would you liken this to other battles that Israel and wars that Israel has fought over the years?
Well, obviously, the initial strike recalls the Six-Day War, the opening airstrikes against the Egyptian Air Force that basically eliminated that Air Force and gave Israel free rein to operate on the ground in Sinai, followed later by strikes against the other Arab countries' air forces. But this is unprecedented, and it's not a word that I use lightly, because it was not only taking out their air defense capability, they didn't have much of an air force to begin with, but much more the complete clearing of what is the only battlefield today, which is the air battlefield. And it pains me greatly as a ground forces officer to say this, but the Air Force is performing brilliantly.
How important is it for Israel to destroy the nuclear facility at Fordow?
Very important. Even if this leads to regime change, and I'm hopeful that it does, it seems to be moving in that direction, but there are too many variables to predict at this point. But any sort of nuclear weapon capability left behind remains a danger. So the full elimination of anything that the Khomeiniist regime, which is what this is, has developed over the past decades, really needs to be eliminated, eradicated.
So here we are in about a week into Operation Rising Lion. What do you see ahead?
Well, first of all, there are two big questions that I can't answer. I can kind of guess at one, and I won't even try to guess at the other. American involvement, if America does step in and get involved, at least with the heavy bombers, that will simplify and shorten the air operation, and certainly be very much to Israel's benefit. And the other question is, will the Iranian opposition rise up and try to overthrow the regime and do so successfully? Right now, there's a lot of noise about it, but there's been no action. So that's unpredictable. If they do it, and I hope they do, and they do it sometime in the reasonable future of the next week or so, then this operation is over. We congratulate them and hope for the best going forward.
Well, Elliot Shodoff, thanks so much for joining us, your military analysis. Very much. Thank you so much.